Hello friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd Simone, and I am here today to share all of my standard size Traveler's Company Traveler's Notebooks. I have started to somehow collect them unintentionally, and I'm definitely not a completionist, but I recently got a new one. And I wanted to show them all to you to update you on what I currently own and also compare the different leathers with each other and show you how they have worn over the time that I've owned them. So I think what I'm going to do is start with this one. This is the oldest, and then go by acquisition date. I currently have 7 standard size Traveler's Notebooks from Traveler's Company. And that was never intentional. It just happened. And I'm not mad about this. This is something that I allow myself to own. Now, the only problem that I currently have is I don't really know how what the acquisition date, so I am trying to sort them. I think this is the right order. Okay, so this Traveler's Notebook has been with me for almost 10 years now. I purchased this in 2015, after I moved to the United States. This still has the original Midori branding stamp here, and I have been using this ever since. I don't think I ever stopped using it. And it is housing my ink swatches. Ever since I started swatching inks, this is where I've housed those notebooks inside. It is the regular brown one, and it is very smooth and slick. This is what the leather looks like. I'm not sure if this orange ribbon comes with this Traveler's Notebook, but I really love how this looks. This one is a bird bead from my friend Lorelei. She gifted this to me, and I think if you were looking for something similar, this person has an Etsy shop, and it's called Summer Wind Art, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm not necessarily a pocket fan for my Traveler's Notebooks, I don't need these to be more than they are. I'm using them like this. The inside of this is very rough, and it feels like there's bits and pieces coming off. But compared, I'm going to leave this to the side, but compared to all the other Traveler's Notebooks in the standard size that I have, this one is the only one that looks shiny and that is smooth. Like if I turn this here, you can see how smooth it is. Then I did not add more Traveler's Notebooks for a very long time, until I went to the San Francisco Pen Show in 2022. And this is when I added the hotel edition. They were sold out through the website, but at the pen show they still had some of them, and so I freed some funds by selling a Traveler's Notebook and was able to add this one to my collection. This is very dark, much darker than the brown. You can see how different they look. It's also not as smooth. but it also looks really nice when torn. You can see the pull-up right here. There are some scratches. This looks like there's might be some glue on there. I am not, because I'm not planning on selling these, I'm also not babying them. And then I also added this superior labor, I don't even know what this is called, here. I really like how the placement that I put here, and then I think I removed the elastic. I don't know for what reason, but whenever I'm gonna use this again, I will be able to. This is the only traveler's notebook right now that I keep in a, well, second one, that I keep in the fabric bag. I don't even know if I have bags for all of the ones that I have. This is the brown one. Maybe I'll leave it out for now and just put this so that we can compare other colors with this. And then I acquired this one. This is the Kyoto edition. The gold, as you can see, because I am not precious with my notebooks, there is some wear and tear on the gold foiling here, or the rose gold foiling here, as well as it is here. And that is something that I'm actually concerned about, especially with this one, because it looks like it's going to wear off here. I have this Kyoto coin on here, and I swapped it out for the red elastic. Well, if I hold it like this, it looks almost dark gray. On camera, it is, maybe because I didn't handle it much, but it feels drier even almost than this one. And because there is a coin here and this ring here, there's a lot of impressions from that here. Again, I don't really have a problem with this, but everything that you add to a traveler's notebook, a charm or anything, will leave impressions on the leather. There's also some pull-up right here. And then there is this dry spot. So maybe I was going to plan and use this as the cover for my reading journal, but maybe I should use a different one. I'm not sure. Let me know. I'm not normally someone who babies stuff, but I would actually be really sad if all of this came off. But then what's the point of having it if I'm not able to use it, if this is rubbing off? My plan was to move all of my reading stuff into this notebook here. That's why I have this rubber banded together. I guess all the excess I'm gonna put away. Then I acquired this. Is the only, no, that's not true. I have a passport camel. I am not a fan of the camel color. The only reason why I have this is because of the diner edition. I don't know why, but I am a sucker for these, for this. I really like how it looks. I like that this is debossed. It doesn't feel like it's coming off easily, which makes me more comfortable to use this than, for instance, this one. I currently use this as my ephemera holder, and I feel like I should make a separate video about this because I think there are some awesome things in here that I experimented for science for you that I actually can't wait to show you. As you can see, I had an inky finger here, and this is my thumbprint here in black. That happened when I stamped. So now I have some black impressions right here. And the reason why my ephemera is in this specific cover is because I want this to get more use. I would love this to become more like these. This feels like velour leather. It's very smooth and velvety. In compared to this one, this is slick and, well, slick is not the right word, but this is completely different than this one. Velvety is the best description that I can give you for this. Let me show you. Oopsie, I'm so sorry. Let me open this up. If I'm looking at this right now, because I think this is because of the velvety texture, besides the marks from the charm here and my accidental thumbprint, it looks the least like it has worn out. I feel like these covers here show wear and tear more than this one. Like if you look at this, there are some scratches here, and you know, you can easily make more. If I do this here, it just rubs out after. So if you don't like having wear and tear on your traveler's notebook, then probably the camel one would be the one to go with. This is what the inside leather looks like. And I've stuffed this really fat and it still looks really nice. And then I don't really know. This was one of those, I wanted this because I wanted this. This is the new olive color here. And this is a very dry leather. It's very similar to, well, this. Not as much the blue one, but more the brown one. I swapped it out for the light blue color. This was my trial at the Adventure Journal, which, when did I start this? 2022, 2023. Yeah, did not go far. I should continue with this at some point. This is what the leather looks like. I mean, I'll show you one later, but I wish this was more olive, more like, you know, these olive green inks that we love so much. This is almost a brown with green brown or so. But also, again, you can see the pull-up here. I'm not sure what happened here. Maybe it was bent like this for a while, but there's definitely some pull-up right here that I can't really explain. It is very rustic. I think that's what this feels like, rustic, same as this one. And maybe I have added some leather conditioner here that this is more, feels more sticky. Yeah. This is what the inside looks like. Oh, I'm just realizing, look at the rounded corners here. I feel like these are more pointy, or I'm just, no. Now they're the same. But yeah, so this is the olive traveler's notebook. And I've got this bear charm on here as well as this button. And then I have one of this cute thingy right here. It is, of all the ones that I have, this feels closest to, well, there's still a long way to go from here to here. But this definitely feels like at one point in its lifetime, it could feel very similar to this. And if you look at these, if you take this brown, you can definitely see that this is supposed to be green. But if I'm taking this one, I don't know. Well, there is a difference, but it's just more subtle. And then they came out with the road trip. And if you know me, and if you know that I have a van that I use for weekend trips, you know that I needed to get this. And so I did. One of my friends was able to go to the Washington station where they sold this notebook. I think this is now also available as a regular purchase, like standard lineup, maybe not, I'm not sure. And so this might also be, you might be able to purchase this, but a friend picked this up for me, offered to pick it up, and so they did, and I'm so happy they did. I have a Baumkuchen Trust the Process charm on here that I have combined with the San Francisco 2024 charm that I was given by Hannah Made It. I really like this, and yeah. So this again is rose gold embossing. What I have noticed is that it's not in the center. So I believe, let me get the ruler, because now that I said it, I need to measure this in order to be able to sleep at night. How do we measure this? We are going from the hole. So this is 12.5 centimeters wide, and this one starts at, so the distance from the hole over here is 4.5 centimeters, and then let's go, yeah. So if this bugs you, mine is definitely not centered. I wonder what would happen if it was thicker. Then it totally, like here. Now I'm curious. This is going to here, so it's like right close to here, 3.25, 3.3 centimeters. Yeah, it's not centered either. Interesting. It just, I don't know why it sticks out so much with this traveler's notebook here. But if you wanted this to be centered, it is not. This is most similar or basically the same. No, it's not. Look at how different these two notebooks look. This is brown. This is also brown. This is almost a super dark brown, and this is a lighter brown. So let's, there's a little bit of red tint here, and on camera the difference comes out much better than in real life, but this is closer to the olive than the hotel brown. Wow, interesting. This again marks up extremely easily, but it still feels very much like all the other leathers that I am using. Is this? No. This is part of that. And they all feel very rustic, which is not a bad thing at all. I love rustic. It still houses my 2024 weekly traveler's notebook that I haven't finished. That maybe, hopefully, at one day I will be able to go back. That's why it's still in here. And I currently am thinking of going back to traveler's notebook standard size journals in 2026. So even though I'm not using it on a daily basis as a journal, I do have quite a few things that I keep in them. I'll talk about that when I'm done. Now, the newest addition was this Love and Trip red traveler's notebook. And I am so glad that I ordered this. My rational brain told me that I did not need this at all, that I shouldn't buy it because I already have so many traveler's notebooks. And yes, that is definitely very valid. But then I saw it somewhere and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. I can still sell it if I feel overwhelmed by the amount of traveler's notebooks that I own. But I'm so glad I purchased it because this feels so different than any of the traveler's notebooks that I showed you before. I left the red elastic on there. I think it came with a different color that I put somewhere. And I just went to the beach last weekend and I found this seashell that had a hole in here, and I thought it would look really great with the TN. So I added that charm right away. But this is such a beautiful dark burgundy red color. It looks so good, but it also feels so different than all the others. It feels more luxurious. Look at the inside. It's so different. This is almost blue leaning. It reminds me of Diamine Writer's Blood. Maybe Sailor Shikiori Okuyama. I have that in, no. But yeah, it's very, I think it needs to lean a little bit more blue, but this is just so stunning. It's slick, very similar. I can't even put into words why this feels different. Let me show you the leather. It also makes it special because it has this special imprint on the back here. Hello. None of the other ones, I believe, we can check in a second, does that at all. But yeah, it looks so good. Okay, so yeah, it feels the most luxurious. It feels like maybe it's a different tanning process. Let me smell this one. It smells differently, and I am so glad I was able to get this. And now here I am telling you that I wish this one was more like this one. This is just so, this is red. This is, maybe it's brown, green, olive, but if this was just a tiny bit closer to this one, wow. and it totally feels so different. I don't know what they, if they did anything different, if the process of coloring this leather, maybe even the color makes it different. Like if you use a red dye, then your leather will always look like this. I have no clue. But if you get your hands on one of those and you've been on the fence, I can highly recommend this, because your experience will be different enough to be able to justify having this in your collection, for sure. This is what it looks like when it's open. I can clearly see that, or it feels like this leather will mark up even more easily than these ones here, the road trip or the hotel. There is a tiny bit of pull up here at the fold, but also there are some striations here where looks like the leather, the hide that was used had some marks, which to me makes it beautiful. But if that's something that you don't like or don't want, it might not be the one that you should go with, because I think this leather will show wear and tear most. That's the reason why this is still in here. I'm currently still in the babying phase of this cover, and because it's new, I think what I'm going to do when I'm starting to use my reading journal, then I probably will use the red one, just because it's new and I want to see and feel it more often and get the opportunity to use it more. This is definitely one of those collections that I never started intentionally, but I'm really glad to have each one of those notebooks in my collection. None of these I would want to part with because they're just so, each one of them has something going for itself, and I wouldn't know which one to part with, to be honest. Let me know if you use traveler's notebooks, what you use them for. Do you have a collection of them? Do you have a favorite one? Is there one that you would let go of or could let go of? I'm just so in love with them. I love that even if you have a small insert, they don't look like they're understuffed, if you know what I mean. I'm more of the person who, this is unusual for me. Having a notebook that is this thick is not the norm. I'm more like a person who has notebooks that look like this. And traveler's notebooks are ideal for this. Many of the other notebook makers make notebooks that can accommodate a ton of inserts, which is great, but that's not what I like with my journals. And so having the traveler's notebooks that can accommodate and don't look skimpy with just one insert is amazing for me. So I am done sharing, and I just loved talking about this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Until then, bye.